Hello my beautiful fashionistas, you are welcome to Yvonne Winifred UG. In today's tutorial we are making a detailed video about this modest panel, which is at the back of this bustier top with a basque waistline. So if you want to see how a modest panel is made from beginning to end, please, this is the video for you. That is how it looks like. It is attached to the back part of this top, and first we only need the back bodice block to cut out our modest panel. So we are going to use this bodice block. It starts from the shoulder line to the waistline, but we are just going to use from the chest line to the waistline. So first thing, I'm elongating my chest line here. And now guys, using the nipple to nipple measurement, which is 8 inches, dividing it by 2, I get 4 inches, and mark that 4 inches at the chest line and also at the waistline. Then form this new line, and with this new line we are going to form our dart along the waistline. So what I'm going to do is, on either side of this line I mark half an inch to give me a dart of 1 inch, and that is all that we need. And I'm going to connect it into the chest line, but you can even go 1 inch below the chest line to form these dart legs, just as you see me doing here, like that. So that is all that we need for the dart for this back piece. And now guys, I'm going to determine where I want this back piece to start from. So at the chest line guys, here I'm going to mark 1/4 of the bust measurement, or bust measurement divided by 4, and mark it along that first line. Now I'm going to come down just 1 inch below that chest line here at the center back. So I'm going to mark 1 inch here at the center back below the chest line and connect to where the bust measurement is, to where the 1/4 of the bust measurement is. And guys, I think you realize that we didn't add zipper allowance, we didn't add any allowances at the center back. We don't need all that. So after connecting, that is where our piece will start from. I'm also marking 1/4 of the waist measurement plus 1 inch for this dart intake that we took out, then connect simply like this at the side. So guys, this is all that we need so far. So I'm also marking with the blue marker every part that we need. So that is all that we need. And now we just have to label. So I have to indicate that we will be forming loops here, since our back is a lace up back. And though as we go on, I'll have to cut away some of the inches at the center back. I'll show you that later. So I just label that this is the center back, this here, and also the side back piece. I show with arrows which part faces where, so that when I'm cutting on fabric I'm not confused. So after that guys, I just cut out my pieces so that we start cutting on fabric, and also so that we cut out our modest panel. So these are my back pieces. And now along the center back here guys, we have to cut away some few inches to form our modest panel. So in this case I decided to mark away 1.5 inches, but you can even mark away 2 inches, you can mark away 1 inch. It can be straight just as you see me here, or it can be even diagonal depending on the design that you want. So I marked away 1.5 inches and I'm cutting that away also. So this is what we need for our back pieces to cut on fabric and also to cut our modest panel. So to cut your pieces, this is an example, guys. Fold your fabric into two and place each part and cut it out, making sure you have allowances everywhere on every side. So these are my cut pieces. Remember, we cut away this, so I'll put that away. So I'm going to explain to you what I did here. So I added half an inch everywhere, here at the bottom, at the top, and on the side for this first piece. Then on this side piece, I added half an inch everywhere except at the sides, where I added 1 inch for the side seam allowance. And guys, I cut 2 pieces. Remember, I told you you have to cut your fabric on fold. We need two pieces for either sides, and also 2 pieces for the lining of each part of this bag. So now, removing my pins, I have to align all these pieces. So you see, for this smaller piece, we have 2 because we cut them on fold, and also we have 2 side pieces. So this forms our entire back pieces or back part, and I'll be pinning the smaller one to the larger one and join them along the dart by half an inch. And I'm going to repeat the same even onto the lining pieces, you see. So I'm placing them right sides facing each other, the smaller one to the larger one, along where we cut the dart. And guys, when it comes to the lining piece, I'm just going to join only one, because the modest panel will be joined onto one of the other lining piece, only the lining piece. The modest panel will only be joined onto the lining piece. So now, after sewing, this is it for the main pieces. And remember, on fold we removed 1.5 inches here at the center back, so unfolded it is 3 inches, and between these 2 darts, that is where I want to place my modest panel. So I need all that distance, and the length also, I will just remove 1 inch from the length of the main piece to form my modest panel. But before that, guys, these are my lining pieces. I think you're seeing that one is not joined and the other is joined. So guys, I've gone ahead to cut my modest panel, and here is the explanation. So remember, I told you on unfolded we have 3 inches at the center back after removing the part where our modest panel is going to sit. So unfolded 3 inches, on fold it was 1.5 inches that we cut away. And now between the darts here, I need about 8 inches, and I added half an inch for the sewing. So on fold, the modest panel is supposed to be cut on fold. So here I have about 8.5 inches. I can even determine the 3 inches that we removed times 2 to give me 6 inches, and also add like 2 inches or 2.5 inches with sewing allowance. Then for the length of the modest panel, guys, remember for the main piece I have like 8.5 inches. So for the modest panel I only need 7.5. I remove like 1 inch. So here I have 7.5 inches for the modest panel. And I'm going to add interfacing, because I need this modest panel to be firm so that it can stand on its own and not fold in your back when you wear the top or the dress. It has to stand on its own. It has to be firm and not also poke out from your dress when you wear it. So after adding the interfacing, ironing this stiff paper, this is what I have. So folding it into 2, I'll stitch at the top and also at the bottom by half an inch, and I will leave the sides. Then after that stitching, guys, at the sewing machine, I'll sandwich my modest panel in between the 2 parts of the lining that we didn't join, and sew by half an inch. And this is it after all that. So after sandwiching it, this is how it looks like. When it is finished, it is even shorter. And I went ahead to also top stitch. You cannot see that because of the black lining piece of fabric, but that is it. So guys, to form our loops, I also I've cut these pieces as you see, and the width is just 1.5 inches. They are not on fold. So to finish these pieces for the loops, I'll fold away 1/4 inch on either sides at the top and also at the bottom along this entire piece, and then after that I'll fold this into two like this, then run a top stitch, then after cut out my loops. So I'm going to do that for all these pieces, and the longest one will be the strap that will be for the lacing up. So this is it. This is the longest one for the lace up. Now I'm just going to cut all this into 3 inches of each loop. So each loop is 3 inches. I'm measuring 3 inches as I cut to form all these loops. So now to join the loops, I'm going to bring my lining pieces at the right side and fold away the modest panel, guys. And from the top, I have to leave about 1/2 inch, and as I sew, I will be folding in my loops and sandwiching them in between the lining piece and the main fabric piece. So I repeat that: fold away the modest panel, leave about 1/2 inch, then go on as you fold in the loops into two like this, just in any shape that you want. Mine is a kind of A-line shape or triangular shape. Then sandwich those loops, then start sewing from the top along the center back, from the top, the center back, and also the bottom. You leave the side so that you can turn your piece onto the right side. I'm going to repeat that explanation with this other part. So remove or leave about 1/2 inch, fold your loop into two like this, and then start the sewing. So you sew from the top by 1/2 inch going downwards as you insert in your loops. Then also close the upper side and also the bottom part of your back piece and leave the sides. And this is it, guys, after all that sewing. So the modest panel is only attached onto the lining piece, as you see, and it is finished properly. It is only attached onto the lining piece, and the loops look like this after. Everything is just beautiful, simply as you see, and your modest panel can face the right or even the left. So mine was facing the left, I think. Yes, I believe. So this is it after the sewing. Let me show you with this other piece after I sewed at the top along the center back and also the bottom. I flipped it using the open sides, and this is how everything looks like at the right side. So you see, those are the loops. So it's going to be like this. Remember, we have our opening of 3 inches anyway from one side of the center back to the other side before the loops, guys. Remember, we have our 3 inches. On fold, we cut away the 1.5 inches, and unfolded it is 3 inches. And if the modest panel is put away, it looks like this. So if you want to show skin, you remove the modest panel. If you don't, your modest panel helps you with that. So after that, guys, I remove my lace up strap or string, and from the top I insert it inside these loops up to down. So guys, this piece is supposed to be really long. Mine is even short. I have to create another one later on, and voila, that's it. The piece is finished, only remaining to be attached onto the front part, and this is how it looks like. So guys, this is how we form modest panels. Comment below for any supplements or additions, and I think so far so good. Thank you so much for watching this video. I have a detailed top video, you can check it out.